I'm Andrew Avila, and I'm NYC Salsa Social Dancer of the Month. Yeah, so I started dancing when I was 9 years old. I was that annoying little brother that my sister did something and I wanted to do it, so I just jumped in. She was dancing at like one of those centers, like those kid centers that you just throw your kids in when you want time off.
Yes.
And then my sister was there, so I was like, I want to do what she's doing, and she was taking a salsa class. So I jumped in, and then she left and she stopped, and then I kept going. And then after that, I saw So You Think You Could Dance for the first time, and I was like, oh, there's other things that you can do, like contemporary and ballet.
Yes.
And when I was 13, that's when I started training in ballet and contemporary. I'm still being a salsa and still training in salsa too. So
Okay.
that's how I started.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful that you like discovered not only salsa but contemporary too as a young individual. Yes.
Yeah, I think it really shaped my way of thinking and my work ethic at a young age too. Because I think a lot of people, they have the talent, but sometimes the work ethic isn't there. And I think being young and having that instilled in me at that age was really important.
So it kind of structured the discipline aspect of the.
Absolutely. When I think I was about 10 and I was in school, they had Cuban Pete come to my school and perform with his partner. And when I saw that, I'd already been dancing a year and I was like, wow, this is really like, he was like in his 70s already. And I was like, he's still dancing. So that really inspired me. So Cuban Pete, Millie Donay, Augie and Margot from like the Palladium era. When I saw Cuban Pete, I did my research and I was like, who are these people that he grew up with? And they inspired me. But then I got into Tito and Tamara, Adolfo and Dacochea. I was looking at Santo Rico, Yamule. So a lot of those people that were like main headliners at the time, they really inspired me too. I think being a part of Yamule. Yeah, when I was deciding where to go, because I was in a recital studio for 7 years, and then I just felt stuck for a long time, and I thought to myself, I really want to keep doing this, and if I'm gonna keep doing this, I have to get out. So I was looking at Santo Rico and I was looking at Yamule, and I decided to go with Yamule, and once I got there, I knew that that was the space for me. And then I saw that the pro team traveled internationally, and I set for myself, I think it was 13 when I joined the semi-pro team. I said by 19, I want to travel internationally. And when I was 18, I went to my first Salsa Congress internationally with Yamule as a semi-pro and a professional dancer.
Yes.
So I killed two birds with one stone.
Yes.
Yeah.
How was that feeling when you first got to accomplish that goal?
When I found out that I was going to, it was Switzerland. It was a Salsa Fest. What is it called? I forgot. Oh, Zurich Salsa Fest.
Yeah.
When I found out that he had like chosen, because we'd had like the audition rehearsal where like he picks the partners who's going, and when I was a part of the formation, I was overwhelmed. I remember just going home like, Mom, I'm going to Switzerland. I need to get my passport. Let's expedite it in 3 days. Because everything runs late, so we were like traveling in 2 weeks. So that was a really, I remember that like it was yesterday, and finding out that I was gonna go. I had to get my passport, that whole experience. So that was really, it was exciting. There's so many aspects that comes into a performance. I think the most important would have to be the love of the rehearsal process. Because if you don't love the rehearsal process, you won't love being on stage. So I think taking that time and honing the product that you want to sell, not even sell, the product that you want to be doing on stage. You know, it's your work. It's something that you have to want from a place that you wouldn't mind doing 30 times a year, you know, like. So I think really falling in love with the process that it takes to get on to the stage to perform.
Okay.
That's the most important part. Yeah.
Yeah, so enjoying the process to give a great delivery.
Yeah, and then the part of actually performing, I think, is having fun and letting go. No one wants to see someone on stage that's worried or like that's apologizing for being on stage, you know. I think also just having fun and connecting
Yes.
is a really important part of performing. Yeah.
Totally agree.
Act like it's not there.
That's great, actually.
Yeah. I do a really good job, sometimes too much of a good job, of not being present on social media. And that's harmful in the sense of that social media is such a big part of our job these days, and our career, I should say, not job. Because you get too sucked into what's being posted and what you don't see, you know? Or what you see and you're not really seeing what they don't want you to see. So filtering out, I guess, that it's not always perfect,
Yes.
you know? And with negativity, it's out there 100% of the time. It's always there. You're always gonna find it. It's rare to find the positivity in things sometimes, you know? But I think that taking a break from it, not letting it consume you and focusing on yourself. Like,
Yes.
is what I'm reading or what I'm seeing or what's being said relative to me, like right now in this moment? Like, really take time to be present and ask yourself, does this really concern me? Because most of the time it doesn't. And how do I deal with the positivity? I accept it with open arms.
Yeah.
Because that's what keeps us going. Like Mel and I, whenever we're, Melanie, hey girl, how you doing? Hope you're watching this. We made it. Whenever we receive positive feedback, it's not surprising for us, but it's surprising because we love what we do so much that all we want is just to do it well. And when people receive that and they understand that, it's like, whoa, like you resonate with something that we created, like that's amazing. That's like someone, like you creating a piece of art, you know, and it's in a gallery and people are like, oh, fighting to buy it. Like that's such a good feeling. So that overpowers the negativity any day, you know.
Yes.
The negativity also fuels you because it's like, not that you have to prove yourself, but sometimes you have to prove yourself. You have
Yes.
to go up there and you have to show them like, I'm worth it, you know? So
Exactly.
that I think, yeah, all of that. Ask yourself, what are you struggling with? Instead of just letting the struggle consume you, the big picture, break it down. And if there's something that you can work on in that moment, work on it. If it's something that's gonna take time, let it go. The time is gonna pass anyway, you know? As long as you're working and you're doing what you have to do, it's gonna come. But find out what's frustrating you in that moment and separate yourself and just be like, okay, is it something that I can fix right now, like in this moment, in the next 10 minutes? If it's something that you can do and you can practice in the mirror and you can do your Suzy Q 30 times before you go to bed, do it. But if it's something that is just gonna take time and effort and willpower, take a break from it. Sometimes you need to just take a break. For me, personally, everything. Like, it can be a drummer on the train. That sounds so like artistic. Like,
Yes.
it can be like a drummer on the train. But it's real. It's like, for me, what drives me is that I love to be really present. And if something like happens and that makes me feel some way, I'm gonna want to try to create that. And I think with Melanie and I, we inspire each other a lot because we allow each other to just be each other, like ourselves.
Yeah.
So if we feel a movement and we do it, we're not afraid of it looking stupid. Like, you can't be afraid of looking dumb. So I think what inspires my choreography is just being able to feel free in that creative space.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you say that dancing is freedom?
Dancing is freedom, for sure. It comes with a lot of work sometimes to get there, to feel there, because you have to allow yourself to be vulnerable, which is what I'm working on right now. And it's tough because sometimes you build a wall to not feel vulnerable so that you don't get judged or feel that negativity or, you know, like be too hard on yourself. But when you get into that space where you just don't care anymore, it's the best feeling ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
To make a fool out of myself. Like when I'm in front of the classroom, I get really nervous. Not for any like specific reason. I just think that that's such a platform that takes a lot of responsibility. So for me, I feel like this is like a huge job. It can be a workshop in the South Bronx with 3 people, and then I'm still gonna be nervous as if it's in a Congress, you know, with 400 people. So I think my teaching style is just being as human as possible, not going in as like, I'm the instructor and you guys are gonna learn from me. Like, I'm a person, you're a person. I have something to give you, you have something to give me as well. We're gonna bounce off of each other. You know, I think that sometimes the teacher-student space in between is too harsh. And that causes a lot of people to be intimidated to go take class or to try something new, because that gap between of the 3 feet from where the student's standing, where the teacher stands, feels like something else, you know? And I like to be very personal. I like to get into and break that kind of wall that's put in front of that classroom. So I think just being as human as possible is my teaching style.
Yes. Yeah. And connecting with the students.
Connecting with the students.
There's no boundary where even if they have a question, they're feeling comfortable enough to ask you the question.
If anyone has taken a workshop with Mel and I, they already know that in the beginning of the workshop, we introduce ourselves, we say where we're from. We love questions. It's like the 3rd thing that comes out of our mouth, because it's also the point of teaching, to teach, you know? You don't just go in, it's not a demonstration. If it was a demonstration, people would just stand there, not ask questions, not do anything. But if it's teaching, you have to have that interaction with the people. I think that's really something that we're really, really good at. We really connect with our students. That's something I've been asking myself this whole week, you know? It's scary when you have a new dream and you don't know where that dream is gonna take you. So my career right now is training a lot, and I'm training other styles. I'm training, you know, commercial styles, jazz, jazz funk, hip hop. So I personally would like my career to be in the commercial industry and bring more awareness to the salsa community through a commercial outlet. So TV, film, commercial, music videos, touring with a artist, pop artist. So I think my career in the next few years is definitely going to go up that way, and still in you know, in scheduling, making time for Mel and I to be able to still teach and do workshops and perform and create and have that outlet as well, because I do think you need outlets from your outlet. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Andrew, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
It's greatly appreciated.
Thank you so much.